Ivy football season is here, and that means the return of This Week on 33rd Street. It's back. We have fellow sports editor and Rangers fan Stephen Tidings alongside other sports editor Ian Winnick. I'm senior sports editor Mike Toney, previewing the Ivy season opener for Penn, taking on Dartmouth at 1 o'clock Saturday at Franklin Field. Stephen, Villanova, that was rough. 30 rushes, 20 yards. How does Penn get its running game going against the Big Green?
I mean, it's tough because that Villanova team, that's an experienced CAA defense that you knew was going to be a tough test for Penn. But at the same time, Dartmouth's defense has not been as impressive, and Penn just needs to stick with the formula that worked against Lafayette. Just ground and pound with Colavita, continue to give it to the emerging Spencer Kolsar, and then also a little bit of Kyle Wilcox worked a little bit against Lafayette. And then we'll see if Billy Ragone starts to bring back the running game a little bit. He's been a little hesitant since his knee injury against Harvard last year, but I think you could definitely see him be a key against Dartmouth.
This could be the pivotal game either way for the Quakers' rushing attack. And on the other side of the ball, we've got a Dartmouth defense that, well, I guess it's not the other side of the ball, is it? Dartmouth's defense, really both sides of the line of scrimmage, new players for Dartmouth. They're reloading on either side. So just how bad or how poor is this Dartmouth defense?
Well, Steven said they've been kind of lacking recently. I think that's putting a little bit too kindly. They've given up 502 yards, total yards per game, 7th in the Ivy League, 346 passing yards per game, which actually correctly 342, which is second worst in the entire FCS. They've had 1 interception all season. They've had 3 sacks all season. They can't rush the passer, which has given them any opposing offense enough time to easily pick apart Dartmouth's secondary. Also keep in mind that Ragone in the past has had a lot of success running the ball against Dartmouth. He's had 1 total yard on 9 carries this season. If Penn wants to have offensive success, he needs to attack Dartmouth's weak linebackers and weak defensive line, get him in isolation, run him to the outside, run the option. And speaking of the option, we can't forget that Dartmouth's offense is really predicated on that option attack that really gashed Penn last week against Villanova. Dalen Williams, Dartmouth's quarterback, is a run-pass threat almost on a level like Villanova's John Robertson. Just last week, he had over 300 total yards of offense for Dartmouth, about 250 passing, about 87 rushing, which was good for 10th all-time in Dartmouth history. If Penn can't stop Dalen Williams, it's going to turn into a shootout, and that's the last thing the Quakers need this week.
See, we did get on the other side of the ball. So, all of that being said, what is your prediction?
I have to say, Penn 45, Dartmouth 21. I don't see Dartmouth's secondary slowing down Connor Scott at all, considering what he did to Villanova. I see Ty Taylor getting involved a lot. I see Ragone running the ball. I see Williams having some limited success, but once Dartmouth gets down big early and Williams has to throw the ball and that run's no longer an option, I think that Penn's secondary is going to be able to step up and force some key turnovers.
Stephen, do you see this being that high scoring of an affair?
I absolutely don't. I think if you look at Dartmouth and Penn's history, especially their last 4 games have been 1 touchdown, close, low-scoring affairs. And also, Dartmouth's won 7 straight road games. They haven't won at Franklin Field since 1997. But they're going to give Penn a test. I'm going to say Penn's going to win, but it's going to be, I'll say 27-20 in a tighter affair at Franklin Field during family weekend.
I'll say 17-10 Penn. Penn always struggles with Dartmouth. It's always a scare at the Ivy start. We'll see how it goes this year. Is it going to be another scary Dartmouth test? For This Week on 33rd Street, Ian Winnick, Stephen Tidings, Senior Sports Editor Mike Toney, Daily Pennsylvania Sports.